berlangsung dan tentu saja ini sesi yang akan jadi menarik, cuman yang tidak punya waktu ingin pulang juga jangan sungkan-sungkan, kita tidak ingin kalian kapok supaya datang lagi. Tapi sekarang kita masuk ke sesi diskusi yang akan dipimpin oleh Cika. Yuk kita sambut SAHRAA Karimi.
Halo, SAHRAA Karimi. Dan boleh panggil satu lagi, kita juga ada Bastian sebetulnya dari Project Change.
Bastian penting.
Ya, Bastian. Oke, sebelum kita mulai, silakan dulu. Bukan bisa ngerti bahasa Indonesia kan? Oke. Oke. Yang lebih nyaman kalau kita juga ada sedikit terjemahan bahasa Indonesia siapa? Jangan malu-malu. Lebih nyaman. Satu. Kalau gitu, yang nyaman dengan bahasa Inggris boleh dong duduk mendekat ke Oke. Nggak, tapi beneran cuma satu nih. Kalau cuma satu, kita semuanya pakai bahasa Inggris. Tapi kalau ada lebih dari satu, saya akan sedikit juga ada kesimpulan sedikit dengan bahasa Indonesia juga. Kalau yang aku cuma satu, tidak cukup kuotanya. Kalau lebih dari 5, baru saya mau terjemahin supaya lebih cepat. 1, 2, udah cuma 2, 3. Jangan malu-malu, mumpung nih. We're asking about how comfortable they are if we conduct this only in English. If there's more than 5, we do it, like with a little bit of Indonesian summary. But if less than 5, then I ask the English Indonesian speaker to come closer to the one that don't speak English. Bener nih cuma 3. Kurang kuotanya. Sorry 4. Can do it bareng-bareng gitu. 1, 2, 3. Siapa yang nyaman? Oke. So we also do it a little bit bahasa Indonesia. So, kenalan dulu kali ya. Oh iya, oke. Bastian and SAHRAA, we record this audio and also video. And usually Minikino have this YouTube channel where we actually upload all the discussion. We are asking your consent. Are you okay with it?
We are okay. I'm okay.
It's okay.
Okay. So please, little bit introduction about you and Bastian before we begin.
Because I already told about myself a little.
SAHRAA already introduced herself a little bit, but some actually came a little later.
So we can repeat that.
Okay, I am SAHRAA Karimi from Afghanistan originally. I grew up in Iran and Slovakia, and I returned like 3 years ago to Afghanistan after finishing my study. I studied documentary filmmaking and fiction filmmaking in Slovakia and Bratislava, and also somehow in Prague, in Finland. I got my Ph.D. degree in fiction film and scriptwriting. And
Stop. SAHRAA Karimi lahirnya di Afghanistan, besarnya di Iran dan Slovakia, tapi kemudian belajar studi sinemanya di Slovakia dan juga di Praha.
so, yeah.
Ya. Kemudian dia punya Ph.D. di bagian penyutradaraan.
And this film that you have seen, it was during my study, but it wasn't like it was somehow a student film, but the production company was an independent production company, so I started like my professional work during the study. So, and I'm here with another film, Light Breeze for Tomorrow.
Jadi 3 tahun lalu, 2012, right? SAHRAA kembali ke Afghanistan untuk membuat production company. Ini produksinya tahun 2008, ketika itu yang masih studi di Slovakia. Jadi seperti film tadi diproduksi sebagai siswa, sebagai masih pelajar, tapi diproduksi oleh pembuat film independen yang sudah profesional juga. Ada 2 film sebetulnya yang dibawa, satu lagi kalau mau nonton harus ke Singaraja. Satu lagi Light Breeze. Jauh. This is far. Singaraja is far. Okay. Anything else you want to add?
No.
Oke. Nah, Bastian.
Oke, saya Bastian. Saya sebelumnya untuk dengan sinema tuh terlibat dengan sinema dimulai dari Film Festival. Itu adalah Film Festival, salah satu film festival terbesar di Asia, termasuk Pasifik juga sebenarnya, berhubungan dengan kesetaraan gender dan kelompok seksual minoritas. Lalu kebetulan sekali saya saat ini sedang bekerja di Kalyana Shira Foundation untuk project change, di mana kita berusaha untuk mengumpulkan para filmmaker di seluruh Indonesia khususnya agar dapat lebih menghasilkan karya-karya yang dapat mempromot hak-hak kesetaraan gender dan juga isu-isu perempuan maupun isu-isu lainnya. Nah, kebetulan lagi bareng dengan Sahra datang dalam roadshow. Ini adalah salah satu roadshow-nya Project Change, yang mana kita tahun ini akan mengadakan entry-nya sudah ditutup dari Desember kemarin dan selalu akan ada bagi filmmaker-filmmaker. Jadi jangan ragu, jangan lupa buka websitenya, itu akan linkage juga dengan websitenya Minikino juga ada di sana. Jadi tiap tahun itu kita akan membuka entry agar para filmmaker yang sudah pernah membuat film atau sudah memasuki film festival itu terus tetap berkarya khususnya untuk mempromosikan kesetaraan gender, karena dirasakan bahwa walaupun Indonesia cukup progresif secara gender, tapi pada kenyataannya masih belum begitu cukup fenomenal dalam memperjuangkan hak kesetaraan gender. Kali ini semoga sih dalam tahun ini dari entry-entry yang masuk kita harapkan setidaknya ada film fiksi ataupun film dokumenter yang akhirnya akan kita launch. Biasanya sih mulai menjelang Oktober atau November, yang mana nanti di Minikino pun biasanya selalu menjadi partner dari Kalyana Shira untuk hasil dari para movie maker in the end of project. Jadi kalau misalnya belum sempat ikut tahun lalu, semoga teman-teman yang ada di sini bisa mendaftar di tahun ini. Nanti entry-nya akan dibuka lagi setelah film yang Project Chase 2015 selesai. Project Chase 2016 akan dibuka menjelang akhir tahun, kurang lebih seperti itu.
Okay. And Sahra, you're here actually to also give a master class for this project change.
Yes.
Out of how many participants selected?
Partisipan yang sudah kemarin itu entry sekitar 71 dari seluruh Indonesia. Yang terpilih itu sekitar 29 story. Jadi ada 29 cerita yang berbeda, dan diharapkan untuk besok masterclass setidaknya dari 29 itu akan tersaring 10. Jadi nanti mereka akan bertarung, silakan berdua sekuat apa mereka mempertahankan cita-cita dari awal mereka membuat proposal di awal sampai benar-benar mereka bisa fighting sampai di akhir, sampai ke produksi seperti itu.
So for me, because I had some master classes in Europe, but it is my first master class in Asia. So it is like in my own continent. So it is something for me it is very pleasure to be part of your project, and thank you and I always forgot her name.
Dinata.
Foundation.
Kalyana Shira.
Yeah, that they really they were so patient with me because I had very crazy schedule to get to Indonesia, but it is just pleasure. Thank you very much.
Well, kasih semangat kali ya, ditepukin ya. You feel like a special power,
Thank you.
more powerful. Ngomong-ngomong, jadwalnya emang gila. Tadi dia bilang kan terima kasih Kalyana Shira dan Dinata dan semua timnya dan Project Change karena bersabar dengan jadwal dia. Kenapa juga cuma setengah tadi subtitle bahasa Indonesianya. Tadi saya dan Edo berusaha untuk mengejar, tapi ya nggak keburu karena baru dikasih filmnya baru hari ini. Sebetulnya kita juga udah minta dari minggu lalu, cuman dia travelingnya agak sadis. Berangkat dari 27th of December, no, 7th of January you start leaving your country. 9. Oke, jadi berangkat dari 9, putar-putar deh, ada ke Dhaka, ada ke Bangladesh, kemudian Pakistan. Would you like to name all the countries that you've been since 9th of January? Okay, let's start counting.
So I
Start
went
from
to
Afghanistan.
From Kabul to Dubai, from Dubai to Karachi, from Karachi to Dubai, from Dubai to Bangladesh, from Bangladesh to Kuala Lumpur, from Kuala Lumpur to Jakarta, from Jakarta here.
Oh, by the way, Jakarta trip is 11:30, 11:30 lo tengah malam, dan mereka flightnya sadis, Kalyana Shira, sadis, jam 4
Like
pagi.
I have a lot of suitcases.
Oh yeah, she bring like 5 suitcases because she travel from like it used to be winter, right? This time.
Yes, it used to be winter, then it become like spring, and then again summer, and then again I got winter. So I have a lot of clothes that I need to change somehow, but it is just good. It is just good.
Yeah. Okay, so to start with, I'll give you easy question. Not really easy, but all the women in Afghanistan. And by the way, do you drive?
Yes.
Yes. Big applause for Afghanistan women driver. Well, it seems to be from what we saw, it's really difficult, obviously, to get good and higher education being women. Driving is just quite a dream. Out of 25, probably only 1 or 2 that pass the driving license. They really want to see other places to visit or even country to visit they cannot even imagine. But you, since 9th of January, you travel like 7 countries already. What's the percentage of Afghan women that is like you, Sahra Karimi?
So you know, there is always there is a story behind every person. There is always somebody that like help you to become somebody. For example, in Afghanistan, situation changed in positive way. We have we don't have those times that Taliban times. We don't have this limitations that woman cannot go outside, woman cannot study or so. We have women can study now, they can work, but it is not something that we really want. The percentage is not something that we really want. Some people when they have this opportunity to go to outside to work or to study or they got some scholarship or something. Most of them they don't return to Afghanistan because they don't want to work in Afghanistan because they have this opportunity of being in another society, having experience of a good level, good life in a good level. So a lot of them they don't return. But we have girls, young girls and women that they return. I was one of those artists that when I finished, I returned to Afghanistan. And I decided to work in Afghanistan. Still, it is very dangerous as a woman, independent woman, you exist in Afghanistan. The reality is very hard to accept, but this is the reality. They don't like women in Afghanistan in general. The general view about women in Afghanistan is a negative. They don't want that a woman become totally independent, to become part of process of the country. Okay, men, because Afghanistan is a male-dominated country, very patriarchal country. We are a very traditional country. We are a very conservative country. We are a country which is still in war. So, okay, they say, okay, if you, as a woman, you want to have a progress in your life or you have to develop your skills and everything, so under my wish, you should do. Under male wish. The research, Asia Foundation did, just a few weeks ago, 86% of Afghan population, they wish women stay at home. 86%. And look, we are in 21st of century. Yeah.
86% of men or everybody?
Population of Afghanistan, like men, women, everything. We are like, last year 2015 was the most violence year against women in Afghanistan. I think some of you heard about that incident of Farhon, that they just killed her and burned her, 1,000 people in the middle of the city. So it means that still Afghanistan is one of the most dangerous country for women. But from other side, it doesn't mean that okay, we stop fighting, we stop working. There are women, really brave women, brave young girls with very well-educated background, that they got that opportunity to go outside or to study even inside Afghanistan. They really want some changes. And they really do their best. Like, we have very strong civil society, that civil activists, that women are part of this society, civil society. That okay, they don't have lots of power, but they do their best to demonstrate against violence, against bad things, against discrimination, everything. This is a not short-term change. It takes years and years and years, maybe generation, that Afghanistan become like a normal country for women. For example, me, a lot of men or women also, people, they don't like me because I'm not the ideal picture of a woman. I don't have children. I am about 31. I don't have children. I didn't marry, or I don't want to marry. I totally live alone. I'm driving. I meet with men and have discussion with men, and I do this. They don't like it because I'm a very bad example for their daughter. This is what they think. Especially I'm a filmmaker and artist. This is which is forbidden somehow in Afghanistan. Because when they talk about cinema, they talk about those Bollywood, those action and those love stories, these dramas and those things, and they think that woman is just a femme fatale and just for kissing and having sex or something like this in film. This is the majority of people, they think like this.
Sorry to cut you, but it's already 2 pages, so better do it really quick one. Oke, tadi kan pertanyaan saya adalah Afghan women yang kita lihat tadi sulit sekali untuk mungkin mendapatkan pendidikan yang lebih tinggi, apalagi nyetir, apalagi pergi mengunjungi bahkan tempat kota atau bahkan negara lain. Tapi dari 9 Januari Sahra sudah pergi dari hampir 9 kota tadi, 9 negara. Pertanyaannya adalah, dan ngomong-ngomong dia nyetir juga. Pertanyaannya adalah berapa persen sih sebetulnya yang seperti Sahra? Tadi jawaban Sahra adalah Afgan memang sudah berubah semakin positif karena sejak masa Taliban sudah lewat, sekarang perempuan sudah bisa belajar, kerja, tapi dari banyak yang diberi kesempatan untuk bisa mendapat beasiswa misalnya ke luar negeri, banyak juga yang tidak pulang. Lebih banyak yang tidak pulang daripada yang pulang. Sahra termasuk yang pulang. Tentu saja sebagai filmmaker dan artis yang merupakan profesi yang langka, dilarang. Persepsi bahkan masyarakat pun tadi populasi Afghanistan bukan hanya laki-lakinya saja yang berpendapat, ini perempuan dan laki-laki, 86% populasinya berpendapat bahwa perempuan itu sebaiknya tinggal di rumah. Ini tahun 2015, abad 21. Kemudian banyak kekerasan terhadap perempuan, termasuk tahun lalu dianggap sebagai tahun yang paling keras dan sulit buat perempuan karena ada kasus perempuan yang bahkan dibakar di tengah kota. Di Google nanti kalau pulang. Kemudian, sorry, I was just adding a little joke.
That's good.
It's not the joke, by the way, but we are so distant with the issue that I was just adding a little joke to have them Google what kind of violence. I mean, it's pretty far. Kemudian masyarakat yang patriarkal, patriarkis, tradisional, konservatif, dan jangan lupa Afghanistan itu masih negara dilanda perang. Kemudian yang paling terakhir yang mungkin akan membawa kita ke diskusi yang lebih menarik lagi adalah sebagai pembuat film dan juga artis sinema dan termasuk juga studi sinema yang digeluti di Afghanistan. Sinema itu persepsinya adalah Bollywood, action, perempuan itu menjadi tokoh yang untuk ya objek itu di Afghanistan.
Also, I just want to add something that, and like nowadays, like right now, there are two kinds of discrimination for women in Afghanistan. One is totally traditional and conservative, like, okay, what traditions say, which we accept. Okay, we say our fathers, our mothers, they don't have enough education, they don't like travel, they don't read, they don't nothing. Okay, they have this kind of like view about women, that women should stay at home, they shouldn't work or something. We accept it, okay? We say, okay, this is the reality. We cannot make change like our old generation. But the second one, which is a very, very dangerous and which is a very, like, it is a kind of intellectual discrimination of women in Afghanistan. I hope I can somehow explain that or intellectual violence against women, that those people, especially those men who are well educated, but the way of their thinking and their thoughts is still old. You see them, they put like a cravat and they talk perfectly in English or maybe in French or German, and they are very modern from outside. But from inside and the way of their thinking is totally like old time. Most of them, they think that women should stay at home, women should give birth to children, which is not problem. Women should just take care of housework, and they shouldn't put them to any kind of social, cultural, economical, political issues. They have this kind of picture about women. So then conflict starts, you know. At least last few years, at least last 5 years, we have very high percentage of divorce among educated people in Afghanistan. From traditional point of view, it is very bad because family is dangerous. Why? Women. And the divorce is coming from woman's side, not from man's side. You know? Because women become more aware about their rights. The technology, for example, social media, multimedia, any kind, TV, radio, social media, newspaper, books, learning different languages, access to different sources of information, all them like aware women about their rights. So they become to fight to get these rights, and men they don't want. So we are in very, 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 very difficult time in Afghanistan about women issue, because we are fighting. Before, we didn't have this possibility to fight because women, they couldn't go outside, there wasn't access to any kind of information. But today, every woman they have their small mobile phone or maybe smartphone, and they just, I don't know, per month they just pay $10 or $20 and they access to the world. If they know how to work with Facebook, because social media is very important in Afghanistan. We did through social media revolution in Afghanistan sometimes, because this is the only source to push, so through this we just access. So this is what they cannot stop it. But there are women, they will suffer. Who will suffer? Who will be part of this suffering generation to bring these changes? Without suffering, without losing, we cannot bring changes. I myself believe that I am part of that generation that we are bringing changes. Maybe we don't see the real changes when still we are young, but I hope when I become older or I become old, at least I see with my own eyes the changes in my society, because it is enough, you know. Still we are killing women, still we are cutting like women, still we are like stoning women, and this is still we are doing this, and this is enough, you know.
Jadi tentang diskriminasi terhadap perempuan di Afghanistan itu ada dua. Yang pertama tentang dia tradisi yang kelihatannya juga sebetulnya di Indonesia juga jamak terjadi, bahwa perempuan itu harusnya jaga rumah, punya anak-anak, menikah, kemudian terisolasi dari kegiatan politik, ekonomi, dan sosial. Walaupun berbahagialah kita perempuan Indonesia. Tapi di Afghanistan juga selain diskriminasi tradisi tadi, ada diskriminasi intelektual yang dilakukan banyak, bahkan laki-laki yang berpendidikan tinggi dengan penampilan yang modern tapi sebetulnya pemikirannya kolot. Tahun 2010 sampai 2015, 5 tahun terakhir ini, tingkat perceraian tinggi sekali dengan penuntut perceraian perempuan, dan walaupun itu buruk buat nilai-nilai keluarga, tapi itu adalah secercah harapan bahwa perempuan mulai sadar haknya, dan akses informasi itu banyak sekali terbuka dari handphone sederhana dengan biaya yang sebenarnya relatif masih bisa terjangkau, dan akses ke sosial media itu menjadi sangat penting dan yang merupakan akses buat perubahan. Tadi Sahra sendiri bilang menurut dia tak ada perubahan tanpa pengorbanan. Sahra, would you like to hear what the audience are thinking about the film? Edo, ada, kita tampung 3 ya. Edo, Betok, ada lagi? Wih, banyak banget. Oke, kita berbaik hati pada semuanya, jadi satu aja dipilih yang mau ditanyakan. Dari Edo, kemudian Betok, kemudian Pak
Rafiki.
Pak Rafiki. Aduh,
Pak Rafiki bantu
maaf
ini,
Silo.
bantu publikasinya.
Oh iya, baik. Benar loh Silo di sini. 3 questions. Shoot the question first. 1, 2, 3. Your name first, please. If you can do it in English, please.
Hello, my name is. Hello, my name is Edo. Yeah, actually, I wonder. You say that being a woman is difficult, and the film is stating that through the whole film. But at the same time, I see a woman is fighting back. One of the characters having a divorce, and the most important is I see that you freely bring your camera and go around the city and shoot the documentary. So it's kind bertolak belakang dan
It's like contrary. Yeah.
ironic. Yeah, maybe you could explain more about it. Yeah.
I did this film during 3 years. So, like 2 years shooting and 1 year editing. It wasn't very easy to access to their family. But as a filmmaker, I should have my kind of system to enter to the families. And I have, for example, my major is fiction film, but I do documentary because it I don't want to lose connection between connection with filmmaking. While I'm preparing for my fiction films, I want to always I want to make films. So in documentary, I become friend with my protagonist without camera. I go to their house and I speak with them. I share with them my experience. They share with me. They should start to believe me. Otherwise, I cannot go inside their family, especially in Afghanistan. So before I go to shoot, I went, because I was in Slovakia and I was a student, I went, for example, for 1 month to Afghanistan and I was shooting, and then I came back and I was making rough cuts, and then I come back and following. Before I go, like before any starting of my film, I just went to them and I started to know them more from personal side. Like I wanted to, because, and the most positive point of this to make this film was that I was woman. If I wasn't woman, I wouldn't make this film. Because they believe women somehow, that they let them to come to their house. With ordinary woman, when you share your sorrow, they believe you. When you share your problems and when you show that you have the same problem like them, they start to believe you and they start to share with you. And I use this kind of what is in English, like way to get to them. When I get to them, I start to live with them. Because sometimes filmmakers, they make distance between themselves and protagonists. They show that, okay, they are filmmakers and they are looking at them from up. But I don't look at my protagonists from up. I come down like them. I eat the same food. I sleep at their house, and I play with their children. I laugh with them, I cry with them, and then I get their attention. And the other method that I use camera with me everywhere. Like to toilet, I don't know, to garden, everywhere I use camera. So first day it was everybody, oh camera, camera. Second day, oh camera. And the third day they were okay. Because they see, okay, she is always carrying this camera. It is like a photography also. When you are making photography, because I am a photographer too, when you are making photography, you always carry your camera with yourself. Like a real photographer never let her camera.
It's like boyfriend?
Yeah, like boyfriend, girlfriend, because photographer can be a woman, or maybe. This is, so when they see me with that camera, and also my soundman, he was like Slovak, when they saw us that they're like always everywhere, like we were shooting everything because I needed to get to the main subject. So I needed to show that I am shooting. For that, this is so authentic. You see, I was everywhere. So it took time to be like that. It is not very easy always. But God gave me kind of, I don't know, some positive thing that, especially in Afghanistan, it helps me a lot, because recently I made a very big exhibition, like woman exhibition photos, that people, they somehow they believe me. So I use this always to make my films.
Okay.
Not misuse in good way.
Oke, tadi Sahra sharing tips dari pertanyaan Edo, bahwa biarpun perempuan kelihatan bermasalah tentu saja, tapi ada perlawanan dan bagaimana Sahra bergerak dengan kameranya kelihatan sangat bebas dan menjadi kontras, karena sebetulnya isunya tentang keterhukuman perempuan. Sarah berbalik cerita ada 2 tahun syuting yang sebetulnya ada 1 bulan di sini, 2 bulan di sana. Waktu itu masih belajar. Dia bekerja dengan seorang soundman. Soundman is a woman or man?
Man, it was man.
Man. So you work two
Yeah,
of you for
at
the
the
shooting.
beginning, I had a camera woman, but I saw that there is a problem. Then, for other 4 times that we came back to Afghanistan, I did my camera myself.
So jadi tadi informasi cukup penting. Jadi sebetulnya pertama-tamanya 4 kali sempat datang dengan kameramen perempuan, tapi kelihatannya tidak berhasil masuk mendapatkan kepercayaan. Jadi Sarah pegang kamera sendiri dan bekerja dengan 1 orang soundman laki-laki. Yang dilakukan adalah ada 2 tips bagaimana bisa mendekati sampai begitu personal, dan mereka juga begitu terbuka dan kelihatan dari bagaimana cara interviewnya dilakukan. Yang pertama, filmmaker mendekati dengan sharing pengalaman dan masalah juga, seperti curhat gitu. Jadi kemudian dapat kepercayaan juga. Kemudian masuk mengikuti gaya hidup mereka, termasuk juga menginap di rumah mereka, makan dengan mereka, main dengan anak-anak mereka. Dan yang hal yang lain tipsnya adalah bawa kamera ikut kemana-mana, sehingga ketika hari pertama, hari kedua dianggap aneh, hari ketiga dan seterusnya sudah dianggap biasa.
Also, there is something also that we should never forget that everything is about humanity and respect that humanity. A filmmaker when go to his or to her protagonist, he or she needs a story, and they don't need him. He needs them. So he should respect the rules, he or she. He should respect rules like culture, religion, tradition, family values, everything. Otherwise, if a filmmaker go with judgment about that person, about like judgment about her religion or his religion, or a judgment about their ethnic group, everything, it would never be good. It would be fake. It would be fiction then. It wouldn't be non-fiction. So the first thing, especially about women, when you are going to make a film about women and woman issue, you as a filmmaker should believe those issues about women. You cannot go make a film about woman and her fighting for her rights when you as a filmmaker don't believe about those rights. Hope I could like this is that it is very important. When you are going, for example, to make a film about piano, at least you should have basic information about piano, about music, about the importance of music for human soul or something like this. Otherwise you cannot go like, because filmmaking is from my point of view is telling the story between lines. No?
Sorry, then I have to cut you, because I cannot avoid myself to compare it to the situation in Indonesia. There is one film made in Indonesia, documentary, that the filmmakers cannot go back to Indonesia, and all the crew is anonymous. So I think
no, it is about subject, you know, because when you are making political subjects, for example, or you are making about very dangerous subjects, so it is always, it doesn't matter you're from Indonesia or from Afghanistan or from USA, it is always matter of dangerous, that somebody will hurt you, because, but this film, for example, this is not going to hurt anybody. This is going to open a dialogue between people, because it is about human rights and about women rights issue. It is not going to hurt like anybody. But some of my protagonists, for example, I cannot show this film oftenly in Afghanistan because some of protagonists, they don't want to be shown in film. But it is not some issue that that hurt them. But if you, for example, if I make a very political important thing, or I like just discover a very dirty secret of political game through my film, which will tell a lot about background of politics in Afghanistan, which will have a very big influence on the society and the situation, political society of Afghanistan, so they will never let me. And I will be in danger. But in general issue, especially those issues, at least in Afghanistan they don't have problem.
Oke, mungkin kita kasih kesempatan ke penanya yang lain. Tadi yang terakhir diingatkan sebelum pertanyaan tambahan Edo adalah bahwa seorang pembuat film, apapun itu fiksi ataupun dokumenter, yang pertama adalah dia harus percaya dengan cerita di filmnya. Dan yang paling penting adalah kalau untuk berhubungan dengan film dokumenter itu tadi adalah bahwa pembuat filmnya harus punya rasa hormat terhadap mereka, bukan mengambil jarak sebagai saya pembuat film dan kamu subjeknya, tapi sebetulnya berada pada level yang sama. Tadi betok ya sebelum Pak Rafiki, silakan.
Dinyalain. Mati, kalau gitu ke depan.
Baterai ya, maaf.
Halo.
Oke.
Halo, selamat malam. Saya Oka. Sebenarnya beberapa pertanyaan sudah terjawab tadi. Nah, ada satu pertanyaan lain. Tadi kan wanita Afghanistan tuh terlihat begitu menderita, kan? Populasinya sedikit, terus dibakar-bakarin itu ceritanya. Cerita dibalik film itu. Nah, kalau nominasi populasi lelakinya sangat lebih banyak, terus gimana dia mensuplai istri gitu?
Is it true like the man population are bigger than women? Yeah, in
No,
Afghanistan?
it's not very big. We are 50%.
Perempuan lebih banyak kok
population.
Kak. Yeah, because his questions were.
No, a lot of girls are.
Yeah, a lot of girls. That's why one man can have 7 wives at one time, one go.
Yeah.
Terus
Is that your only question? You wanna have 7 wives? Gitu.
Gini, itu kan sudah diputar di mana-mana. Ada nggak impact dari pemutaran film tuh untuk cerita tadi untuk orang-orang di Afghanistan itu?
Okay. So, how do you perceive the impact of the film now it being shown around the world actually?
This film is about women issues and also limitation of women, but I think it is positive story. It's not going just like, if you see that I talk about problems, and then at the end I talk about their happiness. They are happy. This film was very successful film. It got about 25 awards and those things, and it is, for example, in Slovakia, it comes like one of films that they show at high schools sometimes, or I think it opened the basic question about women. Like, sometimes about through films or any kind of art in general, when you start to open a question, it is very important. And the good question, which help you to search a answer, which help you to have a kind of develop in your life, And this film, a lot of films there are about women in Afghanistan, but this film is made by Afghan film director, which I am. I am from Afghanistan. Because a lot of foreigners, when they make film about Afghanistan, they make film from their point of view, and they compare their world, like Western world with Afghanistan world, and they always look at our country, not in Afghanistan, but general in about Asia, South Asia. They look with this kind of exotic, point of view, because we are exotic for them. Our culture, our custom, our everything are very far from Western countries. So for them we are interesting always. So their films are about their interest. But when a filmmaker who is originally from that country, like, we are not going to make about our interests, we are going to make our issues, which is a part of the society. We want to talk about our issues. We want to search that answer, answers which will be solution for our problems. We want to open dialogue, like public dialogue. So this is the differences, that when a foreigner makes films about Afghanistan or about any kind of country, not all foreigners, but in general, when a filmmaker originally from that country makes a film about his country, so this is difference, I think.
Iya, jadi oke, jawabannya ketika apa dampaknya ketika isu ini dibawa dan diputar di mana-mana, dan film ini termasuk film yang sukses karena diputar dan mendapat lebih dari sekitar 25 penghargaan. Di Slovakia, tempat di mana dia mendapat gelar Ph.D-nya juga, film ini kemudian diputar di SMA-SMA. Karena film ini sebetulnya bukan hanya tentang perempuan, tapi sebetulnya membuka banyak pertanyaan yang sebetulnya bisa mendapat jawaban dan kemudian mengembangkan hidup seorang bukan hanya di Afghanistan saja, tapi isu tentang perempuan dan kemanusiaan. Satu hal yang menarik adalah ini film menjadi otentik dan menjadi harusnya lebih kuat karena dibuat oleh seorang Afghanistan sendiri, yang berbeda bila dibuat oleh filmmaker dari Eropa misalnya atau dari luar Afghanistan, karena selalu Asia Tenggara, Asia selalu dianggap sesuatu yang eksotik dan menarik, dan karena menarik makanya mereka akan mencari cerita yang menarik buat mereka. Tapi kalau dari Afghan filmmaker sendiri, dia ada di posisi yang sebetulnya mau buka dialog dan mencari jawaban. Pak Rafiki?
Terima kasih. Sorry, I will speak in bahasa. Pertama terima kasih karena sudah bisa nonton film ini ya, karena ini menarik sekali menurut saya. Saya agak terkejut juga karena ternyata di Afghanistan ada orang bikin film kayak gini. Bayangan kita tentang Afghanistan kan perang ya, perang, dan tahun lalu kita ada kisah tentang Malala yang kita ini.
Malala is from Pakistan. That is our big issue about that Malala we have.
Ya, agak ini. Kemudian yang kita tahu apakah ini menjadi tren ya, artinya apakah ada orang lain juga yang membuat film yang seperti ini selain sutradara yang sekarang ini, apakah itu menjadi tren gitu, ada upaya-upaya melalui film bisa membuat satu warna baru ya pemahaman kita tentang Afghanistan. Terima kasih.
Okay, so firstly, thank you, of course, for showing us this film, even though there's like a misplace about Malala. Malala is Pakistan, it's confirmed. Pak Rofiki's perception, and most of the people perception when they hear about Afghan is war, but then they still really open up. The question is, are there other filmmakers, male or female, that make this sort of film, meaning humanity, telling stories from own citizen point of view? Are there?
I just need to talk a little about that Malala, because it is always for our Afghans. We respect her so much, and what she is doing is very much. But most Afghans, they think that she is a big project, of a political project, unfortunately. Because you don't know how many girls, young women in Afghanistan, they die or they shot by Taliban because of education, because of fighting, but they never become a hero. They never become a hero. Because Afghanistan is a tired story now. But, okay, what happened to her, it is very bad. Okay, Taliban shot her. But we all in Afghanistan, almost many people, especially girls, they don't like Malalai. They are sick of Malalai story because we have like 1,000 Malalai in our country that nobody talks about this, and they are more fighting really in very bad situation. Just a few days ago, they killed a girl in Afghanistan, a peace fighter. Even Western media didn't talk about her. But because she was the girl which shouted in Afghanistan, she was from poor family, she didn't have very clever father. So, which Malalai has a very clever father. Because they want to have a new Benazir Bhutto. Sorry, I'm so open. Maybe somebody are not with me. Somebody is not. Somebody doesn't agree with me. But they need new Benazir Bhutto. But they don't need Benazir Bhutto for Afghanistan. For Afghanistan, they need Taliban. So, but
Are there any other Afghan?
there are new generation of young filmmaker that at the beginning, because we are almost 15 years that we have some kind of relative democracy and women can work, young people can work, create, making films. There were some hopes that this new generation of filmmakers, we don't have a lot of university educated, academic educated filmmakers. Most of them they went to filmmaking courses, or they are just like they are amateur filmmakers. They have experience of filmmaking. But those were talented, they had talent, they made some short films, but it was a big hope that they will bring some changes, because when we have several filmmakers, then from several points of view you are telling the story of the country or society. But unfortunately, past 3 years, those filmmakers, those young filmmakers, between 25 to 30, 35, they made film, a good film, short film mostly. They apply for festival, for example in Germany, in Italy and USA, and they go and they don't return. So unfortunately, film become as a tool to emigrate, for emigration of youth. So before 2 years ago, we had almost about 20-25 young filmmakers in Afghanistan, male and female, mostly male, but also females, that there were some hope that, okay, they are going to tell stories. But now we are just few, 5 to 6 that we stay in Afghanistan. And some of them, they have this kind of thinking to escape because of the security situation. But still there are filmmakers that they want to make films, and they also talk about woman issue. But there is another point that it is very difficult. I'm not going to explain, because in countries such as Afghanistan, that they are like countries which war is going on, always there are some donors, some embassies, some UN agencies. Those they help to produce film, like audiovisual, products. From one point of view, it is not very good because they want what they want. From other point of view, it is good because this is the only sources that those young they can make films. So in Afghanistan, these donors or NGOs or embassies or UN agencies, they had very good rule to build the new generation of filmmakers.
Okay, so Ini panjang jawabannya. Nah, ada dua hal tadi, gara-gara keseleo ngomong Malala, jadi membuka pengetahuan kita tentang Malala. Karena Malala has a very good impression here because it's really boosted by a lot of organization. Got a good publicity. Tapi ada perspektif segar bahwa menurut dia banyak sekali ribuan Malala dari keluarga miskin, yang perempuan dari Afghanistan yang tidak pernah jadi pahlawan dan tidak pernah diceritakan di dunia, karena Afghanistan tidak butuh Benazir Bhutto. Malala dari Pakistan dan kelihatannya ingin seperti ada rekonstruksi, bukan rekonstruksi, ada konstruksi untuk membuat penokohan, dan ini spot yang ideal, karakter yang ideal. Lepas dari Malala, kemudian pertanyaan para Vicky kan tadi, apakah ada juga orang-orang lain generasi muda pembuat film dan apakah tren untuk membuat film tentang hal-hal kemanusiaan di Afghanistan? Kurang lebih baru 15 tahun sebetulnya era keterbukaan di mana perempuan juga boleh bekerja, walaupun tidak ada pendidikan akademik khusus tentang studi tentang sinema. Tapi sebetulnya sudah cukup banyak pembuat film generasi muda sekitar umur 25-35 tahun di Afghanistan yang memproduksi banyak film dan film-film yang bagus. Tapi sayangnya 3 tahun terakhir dari 25 mengecil menyusut jadi sekitar 5. Itu pun juga mungkin ada beberapa yang ingin membuat film pendek bagus lainnya untuk bisa menjadi tiket biar bisa pergi keluar dari Afghanistan. Jadi menurut Sahra, mungkin saat ini walaupun donor dari kedutaan biasanya pasti punya pesan-pesan agenda khusus, tapi donor dari kedutaan-kedutaan dan badan-badan internasional ini mungkin adalah harapan yang bisa mendukung produksi pembuatan film di Afghanistan supaya para pembuat film muda ini tetap bertahan dan jangan pergi keluar. Gitu. We know it's really a long day also for you. We have already like 40 minutes, 45 minutes discussion. Last question. Pertanyaan terakhir. Siapa tadi? Hitung ya. 3, 2, 1. Okay, last question. Goes to Clea.
You were talking about increasing divorce rates, which is very interesting. But does that occur in all levels of society, or is it among the privileged,
Educated women and men also, because the funny thing is that I thought that a lot of women, they emigrated through programs, films, music, any kind of programs. They got visa and they went to Western countries and they stayed there. And when they stayed there, among them there are some of my friends, 5 or 6 of my friends, very well educated women. When they were in Afghanistan, they didn't have this courage to get divorced. But when they went to Western country, the first thing that they did, they divorced. And it is that they see, but divorce is something that I think good for Afghanistan, Afghan women. Divorce is not good at all because it is a very painful process, even it is with hate or with love or with anything. But for those that they know why they divorced, it is very good because we have forced marriage in Afghanistan. They don't choose their wives, they don't choose their husband. So when they become that, okay, there are some differences between them, even they have children, they become that, okay, to this conclusion or to this decision, okay, I'm not going to live anymore with that man or with that woman. It is very good for them because they can find their way. Otherwise they will suffer. So this is also, it was like Iran. It is like Iran. Iran, 15 years ago, like the percentage of divorce becomes so high, very high, because girls had this opportunity to attend to universities, to access to informations and to know more about themselves. This is the same process is coming with Afghanistan, because Afghanistan want to become a modern country. I'm not sure when, but it has this kind of wish to become a modern country. And this process of modernization is not very easy. Everything will come. Divorces, I don't know, suffering, fighting, demonstrations, like fighting with values or keeping values, new generation with old generation, technology, like up and down economic situation. All these things are part of changes, and it is always good because this is the process. This is the normal process. Otherwise, change will not come from one night to another night.
Ya, sebetulnya itu pertanyaan yang bagus untuk menutup, karena isu tentang pernikahan biarpun menyakitkan sebetulnya adalah petanda yang bagus, dan bicara tentang perubahan, change. Bastian, mungkin mau menutup, kata penutupnya, pesannya apa nih buat para penonton Minikino screening malam ini?
Ternyata antusiasme dari para penonton luar biasa sekali ya.
Terlatih.
Terlatih. Dan something yang kita nggak pernah tahu. But what I feel exactly here is like it's really the question. It's so deep compared than the audience in Jakarta for sure. From one film festival to another film festival. This time it's so deep and it's well concerned about the issues inside, especially because it's the women issue. We are talking about that, dan juga masalah di Indonesia tuh nggak selesai juga, kurang lebih sama apa yang terjadi di Afghanistan juga di Indonesia sama. Kelihatannya Indonesia modern, tapi ternyata di Indonesia itu masih yang itu cuman luarnya aja nih, bungkusannya aja Amerika. Lulusannya USA, Berkeley, mana lagi, Australia, Inggris, tapi pada saat menjadi mentality itu budaya itu belum dideskonstruksi. Jadi masih lama, masih kolot seperti itu. Jadi ya melalui film, makanya melalui project change juga diharapkan bahwa bagaimana kita bisa mendiseminasi, kita bisa berbagi informasi dan pengetahuan yang sangat kompleks ini, tapi menjadi lebih mudah dicerna. Karena kan kita tahu ya, sekarang ini kita udah di generasi Y. Banyak mungkin yang sebelumnya baby boom dan segala macam ngikutinnya gaya lama, tapi sekarang gaya baru, masa-masa dan fase yang baru menggunakan teknologi, multimedia dan segala macam, semuanya serba praktis. Film adalah salah satu media yang cukup untuk menyampaikan atau mempromot isu, khususnya isu perempuan, dimana dengan membuat film dengan riset yang cukup mendalam dan dikemas dengan cantik, itu orang akan secara tidak langsung dia akan terbrainwash secara positif ya. Jadi akan terbuka gitu loh, terbuka. Mungkin yang nggak punya kesempatan untuk pergi ke Afghanistan, satu kan nggak aman juga, ya kan? Terus mungkin ada contoh negara lain, jadi secara tidak langsung kita dibawa untuk memahami apa yang terjadi di sana dari sudut pandang yang ada kita sebagai orang Indonesia di sini. Well, dengan makanya semoga tahun ini akan banyak yang menggaung-gaungkan isu tentang gender dan kesetaraan gender, jadi lebih aware gitu loh. Karena dengan pemutaran film, dengan mengkonsumsi filmnya jauh lebih mudah dicernanya dibanding yang diskusi yang cukup dalam, misalnya ada seminar atau ada konferensi, nanti 1 jam pertama oke, habis itu 1 jam kedua bubar 10, habis itu ntar pas habis makan siang udah gak ada lagi yang balik. Biasanya suka kayak gitu. Jadi kalau film festival, movie screening itu sangat cukup ampuh ya untuk menyampaikan pesan-pesan. Makanya jangan pernah berhenti berkarya. Dan bagi yang belum bikin entry untuk 2016 ditunggu.
Yeah, there are some filmmakers here.
I wanted to.
Yeah? Well, it was a good screening. You were so upset and so low, everybody was smiling and laughing. It was a good screening. Don't you think? It wasn't a good screening? Yeah, okay. So we have similar issue here, and it's really interesting that people here are really actively asking about deep questions. They really want to know and really enthusiastic to get to know, which is kind of rare even at the other film festival, even in Jakarta. So, well, big applause for us. Tepuk tangan buat kita ini. So, thank you very much. Thank you actually Kalyana Shira, Monica, Tania, everyone that is involved to bring you all the way here.
But I just want to tell something.
Okay.
One of
I always It's supposed to be funny, right?
Yeah. The funny thing is that okay, I didn't know that. Okay, I'm going to, because I heard that Indonesia is very religion country. I don't know why, but because of that.
I pray every minute.
The things that we met last night about 12. But from last night till now, I think that I know him for many years. And it is one of the good things for like visiting countries and other countries, that we see, like, we meet people like you and your organization, you guys, and it gives just good feeling that when I go back to Afghanistan, I have totally another picture about Indonesia. So it is good, and thank you.
Yeah, thank you. You're with good people. So, just to close this really good screening, really good discussion. Thank you very much. 1 hour, man. Let's have a good group picture for Facebook.
Thank you.
Do we have something? Oh yeah, later goodie bag from Minikino. Yuk kesini dulu yuk, foto yuk sebelum pulang. Potret dulu.